I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV, episode number 144. We're back with another episode of this week's Best Comics.
Is that 100? That's a gross of Alter Ego Comics episodes. A dozen.
I did not know that.
That's awesome.
I feel better knowing that. Thank you. All right, so what was great this week? What do we want to recommend? First up for me is Superman Wonder Woman, number 3, and I've recommended the previous 2 issues, so it's the trifecta for Charles Soule and Tony S. Daniel. This book is just so good. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of what's going on in the New 52. If you're a comic fan, great. If you just want to pick up a book that has Superman and Wonder Woman in it, this is the book for you. It really reminds me of the first arc on Superman Batman that Jeff Loeb did, in a way, because they're pulling in other characters now, other heroes of the DC universe, so there is a really great exchange between Superman and Batman in here, which was very reminiscent of the way that their relationship was prior to the New 52, where they are very much brothers who may not agree all the time, but they always have each other's backs, and they're always looking out for each other. So it was just a great exchange, extremely well written. And then Wonder Woman is also, basically you've got this relationship with the 2 most powerful people on Earth, and neither one of them really knows how to be in a relationship. So Wonder Woman has her girlfriend from Themyscira that she's talking to, and Superman is talking to Batman, and then there's punching and action, and then General Zod shows up. And what we also get guest appearances by the Justice League of America before they're the Justice League of America. So Martian Manhunter and Hawkman and Justice League's Vibe, they're all there.
I think they are actually the Justice League of America, but Superman and Batman don't know yet. Yeah, it's still a secret. Yeah,
and Steve Trevor's there. But it was so good from beginning to end. This series is, for my money, this is the best book that DC's publishing right now. And I know that's high praise considering they publish things like Batman. And Batman. But I cannot recommend this book enough. I wish all of you would pick it up. And it's also a Christmas-themed issue, so it's always nice when comics tie in with what's going on in the real world. So Wonder Woman gets Superman, and she's having trouble shopping for him for a gift. What does she give him? You have to pick up the book to find out.
I think she's given him that gift before, hasn't? Or someone has. I think that specific device has been used before in DC.
It's not might have been one of the cartoons. It's not an actual device, by the way.
No, it might be a device. You don't know.
It's a literary device.
Battery-operated device for Superman.
It was Justice League's Vibe.
Next up, we've got Justice League number 25. This continues the Forever Evil tie-ins, and this has the last couple of issues of Justice League since the end of Trinity War has sort of been continuing the story forward in time with the universe, but it's also been showing us flashbacks setting up who the crime syndicate is in this universe. This is more background on Thomas Wayne, Owlman, as well as some movement forward. As you see on the cover, we've got Dick Grayson there, so you know Nightwing is involved, who at last we saw was captured and unmasked by the crime syndicate. One of the best, well maybe not best, but one of the interesting facets of the character of Batman is that he walks a very fine line. I mean, he's doing things for the right reason, but he comes very close to being a bad guy sometimes. He walks in the darkness, and he uses anger and fear, and he's, really close to the line of stepping over it. And this is interesting because we see Thomas Wayne is exactly the opposite. He's a bad guy, but the path that he chooses walks him very close to the light. Like, there are points in here where I don't know if he's manipulating people or if he's genuinely a good guy. So it's a really interesting character to see it broken down, and plus it's got Nightwing, who is always a fun time. Justice League, Forever Evil, Crime Syndicate.
Jeff Johns.
Buzzwords.
I really liked it. I
Doug
liked
Mahnke.
The origin of Thomas Wayne. I mean, the whole how his origin played out, which we haven't seen before, to the best of my knowledge.
Not in the
especially
modern
not in this one. And Josh forgot to mention, we are witnessing possibly the birth of a former DC Universe character that has not appeared in the New 52 yet. That happens in this issue.
Yes.
Okay, next up. Alex and Ada, number 2, by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn. Another really solid book from Image Comics. And Luna's stuff for me, I sometimes forget how much I like the books that he's worked on in the past. And this was a pleasant reminder. basically, to recap, this takes place in the future, and there are androids that are available to people as companions or to do naughty stuff with, or primarily just as companions. How come I got the... I didn't get the theme... I got the naughty theme this week. Not really, I just made it naughty, the last one. Anyway, so the previous issue, the main character, his grandmother gives him a female android for his birthday. He's kind of coming out of a bad relationship. He doesn't really know what direction his life is going in. And at the end of the first issue, he finds this gift from his grandmother in his house. So, open on issue 2. He doesn't know what to do with the thing. He's all very awkward, and the female android is very polite and very computer-like, but realistic as well. It's just a very human story with an android. It's this could happen next week. It could happen a year from now, 10 years from now. It's just a solid human story.
I loved it. I'm actually operating under the assumption that this is a Blade Runner prequel.
Perhaps. I want to live in this future where I can just
they've
I
got
don't
the
have to pick
chips
up
in
a
their
phone,
brain.
I just think of who I want to talk to, and I don't have to talk. It's just coming out of my head.
And he has the little manservant floating
He's got
robot.
the little
that's
Herbie
like
the robot
yeah.
flying around from Fantastic Four, and then he doesn't know what is he gonna. He feels very awkward having this thing. Like he can't have a relationship with a real woman, and he's got this android thing here. And all the time when I read the first issue and now with the second issue, I keep thinking about that new Spike Jonze movie that's coming out with Joaquin Phoenix and the voice of Scarlett Johansson. I think it's called Her. New York Times film critics named it. It was a tie for best film of the year with
The Hobbit.
12 Years a Slave, perhaps. I don't know.
Never The Hobbit.
But it sounds very similar, except there is no actual android in the movie. It's just a voice. It's just an AI that's there. But this is an actual android. I can't wait to see where it goes. Really enjoying it.
Very
Way to go, Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn.